Okay, so now we're going to do what they call Stance Qigong movement training exercises. Now, the reason why this is important is because you need to know how to, like they say, you need to know how to walk before you can run. This is the same thing in Qigong or energy exercises. You need to know how to do your stances. Now, there are basically 4 important stances in this technique. One is called a crossover stance, where you bring your foot over, you cross over, you lock your knees in, and you're standing in this position. This is called a crossover stance. Side view, like that. Crossover stance. Then you've got the next stance is a horse stance. This is the foundation of all martial arts. And it's done very simply by using a 4-foot spreading technique. I'm going to show you how simple it is. From this position, your feet are together. Open up by doing 1, 2, 3, and then level your feet together so you can't see your toes. And then you're bending down into a horse standing position. So like you're riding a horse. And you can have your hands on your waist, or you can have your hands outwards. It doesn't matter. But basically the most important part is your back is straight and you're in a horse riding position with your knees bent so you cannot see your toes. Now the important part, if you look on my side, is that my back is straight. It is not like this. And if you create that curvature, you're going to have a scoliosis of the spine, and you're not going to have that energy coming up through your back. And this is the points that I'll talk about in my workshop, explaining to you why this is a very important technique of energy and building up your qi in what they call the Tantian in Chinese. So this is a horse riding stance. And then the next stance is called a front stance. Now, there are 2 different styles in most martial arts. One's called the northern style, one's called the southern style, or what you can call in different arts from karate to taekwondo is the bow and arrow stance. And you can have them narrow, which is the ones that I do, which is bent so that your knee protects your groin center. And then you've also got the back leg is supporting your spine and your body for a moving technique. And this is called a front stance. This is the other side, the right foot. It's called a bow and arrow because it looks like a bow. See? When you pull it, it looks like a bow. This is the bow and arrow stance. So you've got the horse stance, you've got the bow and arrow stance, you've got the cross stance, and then we have the last one is called the cat stance. And that is like you're walking like a cat. You have 75% of your energy on your back foot. You're creating an L shape where your heels are going to line to each other like this. And then you're on your toes. And this is called the cat stance. The cat stance. 75% of your energy and weight is distributed on your back foot so that your front foot is light, where you're able to distribute energy and you're able to balance and you're able to throw also a kick. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sifu Sam, the Barefoot Doctor, and I'm now continuing the early morning warm-ups and all the exercises that I'm trying to share with you that I do every single morning, especially if I'm not working or if I'm not doing other things like book productions and so forth. I just want to have a little bit of a talk about everything that I'm doing and the reasons why I'm doing it, because everything has a purpose, especially when you're doing these techniques or you're doing these exercises. So what I'm trying to explain to that is the reasons why I'm basically also doing my exercises without covering my body, especially my upper body, and also doing it in my bare feet. I will get into that in more detail as I go through it. Now, first, I'm going to go through the whole process of my Qigong energy moving stance training exercises. So this is a very, very simple form that I've created, and all of these forms that I've created makes it simple for you to practice, and you can do it at home, you can do it in a park, you can do it anywhere, and it's going to give you this longevity, this immune system building, and it's also going to explain to you as I go through the process of how it works, especially when I talk about waking up early in the morning and doing a meditation. Now, when you wake up in the morning early, the reason why is not just to wake up early in the morning to do things before you have to go to work or you have to do other things, but you're waking up early in the morning so that you can get certain benefits that nature gives us. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is that when you wake up early in the morning, you are then controlling, or you're then understanding your biorhythm. Now, a biorhythm is all controlled by your retina, your eye, and it's controlled by your cortex and your hypothalamus inside, of course, the brain. And what it does is it controls the functions of your body. It controls melatonin, it controls so many functions. So what I'm trying to say here is that these are the reasons why you create, you regenerate, and you heal by doing these exercises. And it's taken me over 3 decades of training and injuries and all sorts of things to learn this process and to understand how it works. And this is the one reason I tell you to wake up early and to do this early in the morning. The next reason is that when you wake up early, the Chinese and the Asians and the masters of the past always knew that the trees release oxygen. Now, how they knew this, they knew so many things. The same way they knew acupuncture, they knew pressure points, they know yoga, they know the chakras. It's all the same thing. It's all the knowledge of the ancients. Now, they were so connected to nature. We have become so disconnected to nature. So what I'm trying to explain to you here is that another really good, important reasons why you should wake up early in the morning is because as the time clock of Qi energy that I've learned from Chinese medicine, basically, it is all about the one process of your biorhythm. The second process is the oxygen. The oxygen is pure, it's clean, and it comes out between 4 and 6 o'clock in the morning. So this is the time you want to get this breathing exercise in, get the clean oxygen in, and get the clean oxygen out. Now, the next process I want to talk about is a very important process that most people are not aware of, and that is what I call earthing. And as you know, I'm the Barefoot doctor, so when I usually go to a person's house, I normally take my shoes off, or I take at least to go barefoot, and I'll be wearing sandals. And what happens is you see, we're not connecting to Mother Nature, which means we're not getting this energy, this negative energy that comes up through our souls, which goes through our body, because then we're continually creating this positive energy in our body, which is, if it's not the balance that we're trying to get. So to make it simple so you can understand it, that's why I practice nearly every time barefoot on grass, on the beach, or in whatever place I can find that I am connected to Mother Earth. And I'll talk more about these processes in my workshops presentations. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is basically the experiencing of why I'm also being basically naked and exposed to the sunlight in my body like I'm doing now. And that is because what we don't realize is that in the ancient days, we never wore all these clothes. We never wore all these clothes that continually blocked us off from the special rays of the sun. And most people are not aware of that the sun has tens of thousands of special rays. It's not just UV ray that we are afraid of. And the problem of this UV rays is that we've created this society and community and environment that we believe that we have to stay in the sun and suntan and get all this sunlight, and that's why we get skin cancer. And Australia is very known for skin cancer because we stay out in the sun forever. We're not meant to. We're meant to have certain amount of sunlight because it creates the vitamin A and vitamin D3, which is so important for your body and the processes of the liver, the kidney, and the whole entire process of the body. So when I talk about this, especially when it comes to the process of earthing, sunlight on your skin, especially on your shoulders and on the tops of your body and the fronts of your body, these rays enter the body, which signals the body's special chemical process of conforming and regenerating and processing vitamin A and D, especially D3. And then here we go. We're told by doctors that we need to go and get the vitamins because we need to take the vitamins because we're deficient. The only reason you're deficient is because you're not outside in the sunlight. And you need outside sunlight touching your skin, not just your face, and you need it touching your skin and face so that it creates that process. And then at the same time, guess what? You're healthy. So you've got to get out in the sun. You've got to expose your body as much as you can in the sun, and you will feel great every single day, producing the process through the liver and through the body, keeping your immune system strong. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, the very important one, is sun gazing. Now, you might know if you're a yogi, you will know if you are a practitioner of sun gazing, that sun gazing is so important. Now, sun gazing always works with one important function, and that is that it's the retina of the eye, which then goes to the cortex of the brain, and then what it does is it creates this unbelievable chemistry, opening up your mind, opening up your body, because it sends special light frequencies that activate certain process in your neurons, your cortex, your hypothalamus, and of course, it will eventually awaken you to your third eye. Now, the next process I want to talk about, and probably another important process, is all this training with your bare feet, all this training with the sunlight, with your eyes, with your mind, your breathing, and so forth. Also, you understand that your skin breathes, and it's the biggest organ in your body. So if your skin breathes and it's the biggest organ in your body, that's why you want to be as naked as you can get when you're training and doing this energy exercises. And the second process is the pressure points, the chakra points, or you can call them the vortex energy points. It doesn't matter what you call them. These points are super important, and I mentioned only seven of them to start with. Now, the 7 of them that I start with are very simple, and they are all just to do with the head point, third eye point, the throat point, the heart point, this Tanten, or the conceptual vessel 6 point, the coccyx point, which is inner perineum. Then you've got the points on your hands, in the center of your palm, and you've got the points on about the center or a little bit further up, 1/3 up on your feet, which is called the kidney 1 point on your feet. Now, there are many, many points, but these are the 7 major points that I talk about when I'm doing this training. And the last thing I talk about is knowing yourself. This will teach you all about yourself, your limitations. It will teach you all about how you connect to earth, you connect to nature. And most importantly, I love the saying that Wayne Dyer has said, and I've never forgotten it. And that was, he quoted that we are not human being having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual being having a spiritual experience, because we are light beings, and we need to understand that so that we can become the best that we can be, because we are ultimately amazing. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you the second one of the set exercises of the Qigong stand training, and I hope you enjoy it. So we begin with a front bow and arrow stance, breathing in 3 times, breathing out, breathing in, out, breathing in, out, stepping forward with a bow and arrow stance, protect your groin area, and moving like you're plowing the ground, moving in a circle, going forward. Stepping forward again with the right foot, moving forward, and with your hands together, going forward like plowing, and moving your hands slowly as well. Then we go into a horse stance. Once in a horse stance, you go down a channel, go up into a triangle, forming a triangle, with your fingers together, bringing it down in front of you and then bringing it to your heart. Elbows down and hold this position. All these positions can be held as long as you like. Then coiling inwards and then doing the same techniques that you do when you do the standing meditation, but you're in a horse stance. This builds up a lot of energy in the Tantien. Facing the eyes, same as the standing meditation. Then holding the drum. Keep your horse stance down. Do not move. Keep your body and energize on your points, on your feet, bringing up the energy so that you feel as firm like a rock, like a mountain. Then drop back into the basketball holder position. Then go into the neutral position where you're relaxed. Then go into your fingers facing outwards, palms facing together. Remember, you're focusing on these points here. Then down. And now what we're going to do is it's called the tiger or the lion, doesn't matter. It's called the tiger and the lion, playing with the ball. And this is what we do. And it's also a technique, but it's also a very, very strong energy ball creating technique. Watch. Going in, bring it down to your Tantien, which is here, this level, and to your heart. Holding the ball and imagining you have a ball, and then we rotate it 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Keep the palms and the energy points facing each other when you rotate it. If you have to, you can always get a ball, like a bowling ball, which is very heavy, or just a basic beach ball, any ball that's about this size that you can play with, and you do this technique 3 times. And then what I want you to do is you throw it out to your right, then bring it back in 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Throw it out to your left. Then you go back into the center 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. And then going out, bring the energy in to your Tantien, your stomach area, pull it in and rotate 3 times. Absorb that energy. Then we go into a coil. And remember, this position you can stay for half an hour. The longer you stay in this position, the more stronger, the more powerful you become with your chi energy here. And then we go into the crossover stand, like that. And we step into what they call the cat stand, which is that way. Remember, 75% of your weight here, and this side 25%. Then we again do the plow or the coil turning and grabbing and then kick. 1, 2, keep your foot on your toes. 3, and then turn to the other side. And then now we step into a cat stance again. Remember, on your toes, nice and light. You're in a cat stance. Bring your hands forward together and pull, kick. Pull and kick. Pull and kick. Then the last part is what my teacher used to call the rooster. And we would stand, getting our balance first on our right foot, and you coil up like the wings of the rooster. You bring your foot up, get your balance, and then what you want to do is rotate your ankle and your foot like this, and get your balance, and keep your wings out, and then bring them in and kick it out. Do the other side. Balance. Get your wings out. Hold your balance as long as you want. Your knee doesn't have to be too high or too low, and get your balance. Rotate your ankles and cross the wings and kick them out. And that will conclude the basic Qigong stance energy creating techniques. Now, it's very important to mention that when you do all these techniques, everything you're doing, your stanzas, your footwork, you can do as many as you like. You can do so many. I used to go up and down in my school, and we used to go up and down for nearly 500 meters just doing this in front stanzas for hours. So it's up to you how much you want to do. The more you practice, the more you do this, the more you will feel it and the more you will know. I hope you enjoy that, and I'm going to come to you with the last section of the early morning Dhammo exercises, which are all to do with pressure points and different parts of the body going from head to toe. See you soon.